Dixie, you love that stuff. You love perfectly chicken. He's Miss Goldie will love that stuff too. I don't know if it's the best food in the world, but they love it. But since he's outside and there's exposure to bright sunlight, I don't put any of the carbon C60 in the food when it's bright sunlight. What I have been doing is Doc Willard water. What I'll do is I'll mix it up with pre-mixed in a bottle. I won't put it on straight. But I like using the dark extra XXX concentrate because it's got the trace minerals in it, and sometimes you're missing a minor trace mineral and makes all the difference in the world. What the Doc Willard water does is water is actually like a catalyst. It activates water, so whereby all the nutrients in the food get absorbed into the body at a cellular level a lot better. It's been known to do very well since, I don't know, the 60s or the early 70s. They've been using it in South Dakota. The farmers have been using it. It's not really known really globally that much, maybe through some internet channels. But, at one point in time, it is recognized as safe, generally recognized as safe. There's nothing in there that can harm you. They're not really sure how it works, but I know if they use it on plant seeds, like there was a 60-minute special they showed, the nuns growing squash plants, and they're squash, the plant squash, and it was the record sizes. And all the farmers were saying when they soaked the seeds in that stuff, the plants grew hardier roots. The animals responded better to, like the grouse. So I think this is a safer bet because I don't want to put the carbon C60 out here in the sunlight. I'll do it at night. But I'll put it in the water. I got to change the water out. I'll put a dash of that in there in the water so that all the kitty cats get it, including Mr. Freaking Possum who comes by and eats damn cat food. I'm not here to feed all the animals in the woods, okay? I'm taking care of the kitty cats. God, a little ridiculous. What do you think is in this cat food? Some other cat or some other animal had to give their life for you, boo-boo, so you didn't have to hunt it. Okay, that's really what's going on here. I mean, but I like these guys, man. I really do. Like I said, they're stealthy, smart, and when I pet him, he's still got his meow nuts. We're gonna take care of that. I was gonna take care of it, but then Miss Tiffany Golddigger got sick with the cancer, and now I realize, she couldn't jump up here. She couldn't jump up here when she was outside, and I was trying to feed her. I had to bring her up here. I thought she was trained not to jump on tables, and I figured out later she just couldn't jump that high. So I never really, dumbass me, never estimated that her age was a lot older. This guy, he's just laying there. He's your favorite spots. This car starts up fine and everything. I don't use it much. So they use it as I started it up yesterday, the day before yesterday. But they just likes to lay. I leave it here because they lay under it. But here's Boo Boo here. I never. That's the one thing I kind of kicked myself in the ass for. I knew she had a weak constitution. In other words, was doing stuff to try to improve her strength and vitality. But I guess if I would have known she was an older cat, I would have really. Well, I was doing a lot. The thing is, too, if I had her since she was a kitten, maybe she would have lasted. I don't know how old she was. That's another thing I was guessing. I was looking on veterinary sites, like if a cat can't jump on a bed, how old they are. That's 13 to 15 years. She was already like that in 2017. So she was 13 to 15 years old or more in 2017. Now he's under there. She was, so in 2019, she was, 15 to 17-year-old plus. I don't know how old she was. She could have been 20. I don't know. I have no idea how old she was, man. She's 20. She was like, that's like 101 in human years. The cat's 20 years old. So she was probably in her mid to late 80s, I guess. My best guess. And, that's one of the reasons, all the stuff I was doing for cancer, I got to change that water out. I change it every day. I'm just getting ready to change it. You want to drink it? Go ahead. Just Doc Willard water in there. But my best guess, she was in her mid to late 80s in equivalent human age. So that's one of the reasons, in other words, if she was a younger cat and got the cancer, I think what I did would have had a much better chance of working. But even so, I didn't want to fail her. But you know, I guess the only thing I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for is I didn't pick up that she was an older cat. I just didn't. But you know, I was still doing more for it, and I was doing a lot of extra things for her. I was giving her people food and all that kind of stuff. But she has inspired me to make sure. Well, I have been keeping on with these guys with the good nutrition a lot, but she's actually inspired me to do even more. And if it wasn't for Miss Golddigger, I would have never bought the Fanatron bulb. I would have never got the CBD oil, especially I got now the double gold. It's going to help me out. I would have never got the spooky scalar unit. I got that offer, Miss Meow Meow, because I love her so much. So in a way, she's I would have never done that for me. I would have never done that for me in a million years. For all I know, that can extend my life decades with vitality, or reverse age me. That's what she's done for me. So, but we're still taking care of the Meow Meows here, big time. That's Onyx. He's the boy. And there's always something going to happen to him out. You know, I mean, I don't know. Some dog can come flying by here. I don't know. Dogs don't bother him. I mean, but it could be some really wild dog. But who the hell knows? There's always something going to happen to him. Because they are outside. These guys are, Dixie's the little gray one, Stripes. He's out here all the time. He hates being inside. I can pick him up. No problem. He just don't like inside. Feather and Onyx, the two black cats, they go in and out. They like inside and outside. And Feather's my only girl now. I got one girl cat. That's the only girl cat I got. And I tell you what, female cats and male cats, you got the same kind of attributes as it is in a human world. It's just how it is, man. And Miss Golddigger was a precious meow meow, the meow meows. But Feathers, I don't know. Tell you, Miss Golddigger, the Tiffany cat, that cat got to me. She was. I kept saying, I'm looking back at all my videos. I kept saying over and over and over. She's like a little human, and she sticks by me like glue. I was looking at all my videos back, and I remember she was up here by this window here. Here's Goldie. Hi, Goldie. She would be right there, and she'd be panicking because when I first got her in October, she was when she first found me. I didn't know where. I thought she was temporarily lost. She'd be panicking, like, in other words, if I went somewhere, she'd be right there. She'd be panicking because she didn't know, if her next meal was coming. So I had a feeling she was, abandoned and wandering around, and other cats were fighting with her, and that's why she was always kind of, you couldn't get too close to her if you were a cat. She got along with him best, and Mama Feather, but that's because they got introduced to her a little later on. So, but even so, my boy, actually, I'm glad I kept her around. I was fighting for her life that last month. She was fighting for her life. No, I was fighting for her life that last month because it was like he was in one spot. Then there was Putin, Rocky, and Goldie, and they're all like in the living room, kind of like just facing each other. And this is even like almost right before she had to be put under, which because there was absolutely nothing left to her. But she was kind of like slightly wagging her tail, and they were just in the community, like the little, and there was no hissing going on, nothing. It was like they were all at peace with each other. That's one of the biggest things I thought was great with, and I did give her 160 human doses of CBD oil, last month. I mean, I was watching very carefully for her reactions. I know cats hide pain, but that's why I was bringing her outside. Very, very attentive to her. Wasn't sure if I could pull her through. But what was going on, it was the metabolic function was breaking down. So even though I was feeding her a lot, it was not getting into her cells, and she was still wasting away. I'm curious. I think the cancer might have been destroyed. Might have been gone, but the metabolic function was like the cellular strength of all your entire body it's the functions, all the systems were breaking down. And now I realized back in 2017 when she came here and she couldn't jump on the hood of the El Camino, I put her up on the back of that tool. I put her up here and she'd walk back to the toolbox or something. She could jump down. I think she could do that. She can jump down. Like these guys, if they want to get up on that fence, she can climb that fence. She can climb a fence, but she can't. She can't, like, you know. She couldn't jump. She couldn't jump up on a bed this high. She couldn't do that. She had to claw her way up. A chair this high, you know, a chair like much, you know, a little higher than that, maybe. She couldn't jump up there. That's why I realized she was, you know, they were saying that, you know, on the veterinary sites, a cat that's like that and they sleep like 20 hours a day instead of 16, they're probably likely at least 13 to 15 years old. So she was like that in 2017. So, you know, I'd say more like 15. So maybe she was 17 when she died. So, so 20 is 101. So if you subtract 12 years from that, because it's 3 years, so she would have been 88 in human years. You know, I guess if she was taken care of better her whole life, she would have never. And the thing is, if I knew she was older, I probably would have given her better stuff, which would have prevented this for another year or two or more. Who knows? You can't freaking fix things after they're done, and I can't. You know, I mean, I did a really good job, but I really screwed up on not realizing. You know, somebody would have told me that. You people online, you alert me to more stuff than sometimes I don't pick up. But yeah, she was a lot older than I thought, and but she looked like a little kitten. So I don't know. Anyway, she's got her place of honor. We got her up there by the menorah on the shelf. She's got her, you know, she was cremated and got the certificate and got her name on there and her pictures and stuff. So. I mean, I don't know. Kind of curious where kitty cats go to. So I hope she's got an afterlife and she's having a stellar time, a better time she ever had in her life, even with me. You know. That's how much I love you, little guys. Anyway, we're out. So, Doc Willard water, probably one of your. This is probably, you know, if you get this, you get a gallon of this at Swanson Vitamins. The prices of these things are all over the place. You buy these little bottles that are ridiculous. If you get a gallon of this, I get them at Swanson Vitamins. A gallon, and I just keep refilling this bottle. And that's probably your most economic way of getting stuff. And bang for the buck, it's probably one of the best things you could do for your kitty cat. You know, but and if you could say that you'll never get this in a vet place, but the thing is, you know, these farmers and people have been using it on their pets, they've been using it on themselves, it's been tested. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing unsafe in it. They tested this. Nothing in there that can harm you, but everybody's been reporting great results. No matter what kind of condition you have, because it helps, somehow it helps with getting the nutrients into the cells better. That's what they think it does. So that helps with the metabolic function. You know, so. I mean, I was doing this too when she had the cancer too. I was giving her the Doc Willard water. It's diluted, you know, way diluted with in the regular water in the side of her mouth. I mean, whole 9 yards, man. If you look back at those videos, it's kind of like I was thinking she was going to make it, but you know, I'm so damn hopeful. That's me, you know. But I think she's, I don't know. I know there's a lot of people's opinions about where animals go, but I don't know where animals, well, I guess all animals in general probably, if it applies to her, it applies to all of them. But who the hell knows? Our existence, including everything that's material we see in front of us, including kitty cats, it's nothing but energy. It's, they're atoms with electrons swirling around them. So, there's something beyond that. But I don't understand that, so I only go by the 3D world, you know? I don't think I could pass through walls yet. I haven't learned that. But who the hell knows? Maybe in the future, we as human beings may be able to pass through solid objects. Just like they did on a Superman movie. But let's tone that down a little bit, because I think there's a lot we'd have to learn before we did that. But you consider from where we went from the 1820s to where we are now technologically, who the hell knows? I think these kitty cats, I was hoping it was they keep Goldie around for another 10 years or more, 30 years. Well, 30 years is crazy. The cat makes it over 20 years. The people post it online because that's like 101. So, in human years. That's a lot. If a cat makes it 25 years, they're in the topper, you know. But you know, pretty soon that might be common, right? But you eat too many treats too, because I spoil you guys too much, and I gotta find. I'm looking at. I ordered the next time this round of chewy cat food comes in. I ordered and I know my guys sometimes they don't like it. I think I got blue buffalo. I used to get them blue buffalo and Serengeti, and I used to get them the blue buffalo food. And you know what? These guys they like Friskies. I'm like, so what do? Doc Willard water and some other things and cat vitamins in there to counteract some of that garbage. But I tell you what, man, these cat food manufacturers know how to make cats addicted to temptations. Not that those things are too good for them. That's what worries me. You little snook. But hopefully I give you enough stuff to counteract that stuff, man. Gold Digger liked the temptations too. I'm sure that didn't help her much. I mean, she didn't get them. She got them pretty much. She got a few, at least every other day. She got them every other day. But I gave Gold Digger people food more than anybody too. So, like if there's some fish I'm eating, she got fish. If I was eating chicken, she got chicken. So, I really like that cat. She wasn't a cat. I swear to God, she was I kept saying she was a little human in a cat body. And I guess that comes with age. She knew how to read. I think she knew everything that was going on in my mind. She was like my little friend, big time. All these guys are perceptive, but she was like extremely perceptive and extremely talkative. And the way she would meow, you knew exactly what the hell she meant. It's amazing. That was one of a kind. I'd never seen a cat like that in my life. Swear to God, I think she was a human, reincarnated. Anyway, over now. Doc Willard water, remember that.